In example 2 of section 8.1, we're looking to see if we can find a range of third side measures. In our directions, we're told that two sides of a triangle have the following measures, which in this case, they're 8 and 12. They want us to find the range of possible measures for the third triangle. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to label the first number that I have A, and I'm going to label the second number that I have B. That means we are looking for C. We're looking for that third side. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to those three criteria that we used in the first example. The sum of A and B must be greater than C. The sum of B and C must be greater than A. And then the sum of A and C must be greater than B. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to replace any A values that I see with 8. I'm going to replace any B values that I see with 12. And then I'm just going to leave C as they are in these criteria. And then we're going to kind of evaluate what we have here. So in the first criteria, we have the sum of A and B has to be greater than C. So A is going to be replaced with 8. So I'm going to have 8 plus B, which B is being replaced with 12, should be greater than C. So 8 plus 12, that's saying that it's 20, needs to be greater than C, or we're saying that our C values need to be less than 20 if we can read it from right to left here. Now, in the second criteria, B and C, the sum of those two has to be greater than A. So my B value is 12 plus my C value, which is unknown to us at this moment, is going to be greater than A, which is going to be 8. Now, what I need to do for this inequality is I need to solve it for C, which means I need to isolate this variable and get it on the left-hand side of my inequality by itself. So that means this positive 12, I need to get rid of it. So in order to get rid of it, I do an inverse operation of subtracting 12. Now, what I do to one side of an inequality, I must do to the other. So I'm going to subtract 12 on the other side as well. On the left-hand side, my 12s are going to cancel each other out. And I'm going to be left with C being greater than. And then on the other side, when I take 8 minus 12, that's going to be negative 4. So the second part of this criteria says that my C values have to be greater than negative 4. Now, in my third part, I have the sum of A and C has to be greater than B. So A we labeled as 8. Plus C, that's our unknown, that's what we're looking for currently. The sum of these two things must be greater than B, which is going to be 12. Once again, what I need to do is I need to solve this inequality for C. So I need to isolate that term on the left-hand side. That means this positive 8, I need to get rid of it. So I'm going to subtract 8 on the left-hand side of the inequality. And since I subtracted 8 on the left-hand side, that means I must subtract 8 on the right-hand side as well. So the 8s are going to cancel each other out. It's going to leave me with C being greater than 12 minus 8, which is going to be 4. So going back and looking at our results of our three criteria here, the first one says that our C values have to be less than 20, which is reasonable. We can have C values of 15 or 10 or 7 or 8, 8.5. We can have that to be possible. So this is okay. In our second criteria, it says that C values have to be greater than negative 4. Well, we kind of run into a problem here because C values such as negative 3, negative 2 are larger than negative 4. But since we're talking about measures and length, we don't have negative values when we talk about measurements. So this is not possible. Okay, so we X that out. In our third criteria here, it says that our C values have to be greater than 4. So that is possible reasonably. So what we look at is we can see C values can be 5, C values can be 10, they could be 17, they could be 11.5. So this is also possible. So what we have between these two criteria is that my C values have to be between 4 and 20. So anything that's in between those two numbers, not including 4 and 20, is going to be possible side lengths that we could combine with a side length of 8 and a side length of 12 in order to form a triangle.